you didn't see it, here is a clip of the very messy row that took place after winner Adam Thomas was accused of being intimidating towards fellow campmate Jimmy Bullard after he ducked out of a trial.
What is it, abusive, aggressive and intimidating? What happened? What do you think?
But I was there. I didn't think it was intimidating.
You didn't?
No, I was there.
Listen, I take full responsibility, you know, for my actions. Yes, emotions were definitely running high in that moment, but, you know, I think, you know, and listen, I've got nothing but love for Jimmy. I think it was just, you know...
It's a funny way of showing it.
David, the fight...
Come on,
David!
David!
That's the victim. The victim.
David!
Just chill out.
David, you've gone. You weren't even there.
Yeah.
Keep out of this bit. Was it abusive and aggressive? Ask the people to set.
Calm down.
Show it!
Well done, Sinitta.
It's terrible! Show it! It's your show!
Sit down for a second. Scarlett, talk some sense into this lot, can you? And then we'll wrap this up.
My goodness. Everyone reacting so differently. It was like live telly from the 80s and 90s, you know, where it was all a bit raw.
So uncomfortable, though.
You weren't entirely sure what was going to happen next with it, but I mean, you can feel it's real. You know, that isn't just for the TV cameras. That is real. I mean, how would you have reacted if you'd been in there? I mean, you've done similar shows. You've been under that pressure.
Anyone that saw a Big Brother? I mean, sometimes it really can get me into trouble because I do tend to get right in there. Like, if I think somebody's having a difficult time, I just can't keep my mouth shut. I think it comes from being from a really sort of big, boisterous family, so it's not the end of the world if, like, you got involved in
Everyone's
stuff.
got an
you know,
opinion.
like, a friend of mine is the most lovely and loyal person. She grew up in a really quiet household, and that would, like, completely freak her out, that kind of... But it doesn't freak me out, that, and I will roll up my sleeves and if I have been in that situation and I've seen something's gone on, I haven't actually watched the show, and I think somebody's been picked on or whatever, I will fly. I might try for about a minute to be Gemma, and then I will fail, and then I will have ruined my whole life and, like... because something just happens to me and it just becomes no longer a choice.
But then I think maybe you can move on from that quickly afterwards. Is that the thing when you talk about being in that boisterous family? You can get over things and you can fix it and you feel you can move on.
Yeah, because I've come from a family where we would have big, you know, big rows and then... So, yeah, it's not the craziest thing in the world for me.
I think the big family thing prepares you, doesn't it? Because obviously being an only child, I didn't really have that. But in that particular... I didn't see it, but that particular situation, they're two equals, right? There's two... kind of quite alpha males going at it, and it's their argument, and I would just let them have it, get on with it, sort it out, whatever. The only time I would get involved in something that wasn't my argument would be if there was a power imbalance.
You think there's injustice?
Or there's injustice. And then, and I don't go very often, but when I do go, I go.
Seen it a few times, Mr. Moore. I mean, we're not mentioning the unmentionable, are we?
Oh!
You'll have to mention it to me in the break. I don't know what you mean.
You can't just throw that out and just not expand.
It's funny, though, saying coming from a big family, because I was the youngest of a big family, so I was probably the least confrontational or argumentative because they were all older than me and I just used to watch it. And like you say, with families, they do all that and then 2 minutes later it's, can I borrow your head?
But the Irish and the Arabic families have a lot of affinity, don't they?
Yeah. But I didn't. So, like, my kids, I was just never a shouter, you know. So I put up with things for years sometimes, but then get me on the wrong day and run. Because I
And how often does that happen?
Not very. It's happened about twice. I think my kids have seen it twice. And once was with one of my sisters, actually. We were having she was saying something about one of my kids and she'd had a bit to drink and blah, blah, blah. And I kept saying, yeah, enough now, because he was getting embarrassed because his friends were there and she was kind of embarrassed now. So I was like, enough now, stop. Anyway, she didn't stop. And then I just exploded. Kids ran out the kitchen. Kira was 7 at the time. She ended up sitting on the stairs crying because she'd never heard me shout.
Wow.
And then when I was still with Ray at that point, and when he came to bed that night, he went, how do you feel? And I went, I feel feel great, actually. It was like I'd let all this tension out. Yeah.
What about you, Christine? Because you've definitely got a bit of a core of steel in there.
I sort of know I do. I kind of I don't like fights. No, I mean, if I'd been in, say, the jungle in that situation, there was lots of that going. I find it really uncomfortable. And when you see other people being uncomfortable, I think I could see the red mist quicker if I'm fighting on behalf of someone else.
Yes, like for me, it was my kids.
Yes, exactly that. I can get on with it if it's involving myself, but it's happened a couple of times. Even my sister was sort of being bullied years ago, and I stepped in, and I did not care about the consequences. I knew I was right as well. So I've no problem stepping up for someone that I think really needs it, or don't. But generally, I would much prefer a bit of calmness. It makes me uncomfortable.
I've just had
it's that horrible feeling in your belly.
Sometimes I do it because it feels a bit awkward watching it. Because, you know, all you girls say, we sit and we wait the last one to talk.
Yeah.
I would find that very awkward.
But if there's loads of people shouting at once, there's no point in then you joining in.
Well, you don't necessarily have to shout, but you could get involved and say, listen, you know, I
if you'd
saw
have been
what
in there,
happened
trust me, you'd have shouted. I watched it.
Yeah.
It was, I'll tell you in the break.
You can't help but get involved. But I do think there's a power, and I know you feel this, Jane, and maybe waiting until it all calms down and then having your say.
Waiting for someone to say, what do you think? And then you say it very calmly.
If you can hold your tongue, Nadia will struggle, but you know, we'll practice on that.
This is
Day one.
Marty Pants over there.